The loss of biodiversity, or rather the variety of life, is a pertinent issue across the globe. This gradual decrease in genes, species, and individual organisms within an ecosystem, geographic area, or Earth entirely may unfortunately serve in destroying the certain functioning of an entire ecosystem. In Morocco, this issue has seen the light of day as over 600 species have been identified as endangered, while plant diversity may potentially experience a 24% loss. As such, the state of Morocco, one based in agricultural districts such as farming, fishing, etc., may undergo a period of poverty and loss as local families lose their means to make a living.
The issue of lack of biodiversity in Morocco has been an ongoing problem for many years, and the general trend has been biodiversity degradation and loss. And extinction rates have gone from 2 species per century to at least 40 for mammals. But extinction also affects marine, freshwater, and birds, avian animals. Species such as the shad fish and the eel have practically disappeared from our waters. And for birds, at least 10 species have gone extinct, and 30 others are highly threatened by extinction. For mammals, 10 species have disappeared between 1925 and 1956, such as the Atlas lion, the oryx, and other animals such as the panther.
The causes of biodiversity in Morocco range from a variety of things. So for both animal and plant species, climate change has a major effect on both of them. For example, maybe some plants are used to a separate type of climate, and when the climate starts to change because of climate change, the environment and the atmosphere around the plant changes, and the plant is not used to that, so it causes it to die and wear out. For animals, there is an overpopulation in Morocco of people, and so we need space to build things, and when you see places that need building and there's a forest there, they take down the forest, and so that causes animal life to basically decrease, and animal variety of species get killed and lost because they don't have a habitat. And this happens all over Morocco. So if you come to Morocco, you will see how there's building everywhere. One day you'll see a building started, the next day you'll see it finished. And this is why animals are being lost, and as well as pollution for the both of them. How Morocco is a third world country, and we are starting to advance and modernize in technology and building. And so many factories are being made, and the factories that are producing these technologies and these elements and materials for building are causing pollution, which is killing a variety of species in Morocco.
And it affects all ecosystems and environments in Morocco, as well as people who live here. It affects people whose jobs or lifestyles depend on having healthy plants or animals, which is everybody who depends on the food industry, the development of medicines, and fresh water.
نسولك واش نقص انواع الاسماك اثر على العمل ديالك على المهنه ديالك؟
اخويا واحد شويه اخويا ضروري مع كيكون عندنا الكليان بحال هكا تيبغي الانواع ديال الحوت هذه وهذه ما كتلقاش باش سميتو واحد الثمن كيتزاد وما كنقدروش نجيبوا الحوت بداك الثمن.
السؤال الثاني، واش النقص في انواع الاسماك اثر على حياتك الشخصيه؟
يا اخويا راه بطبيعه الحال دابا ملي ما كتبقاش تبيع الحوت بحال هكا للناس وهذه كيتقل داكشي، راه المدخول كيقل وعندك مصاريف وعندك السير، فهمتيني اخويا، ما كيبقاش داكشي هو هذاك.
واش في نظرك المغرب لازم يحمي البيئه البحريه ديالو زعما داكشي؟
ويا اخويا دابا كاين داكشي ديال التلوث وداكشي ديال ليسانس كيكون ضيع في البحر وتيكون بزاف ديال التلوث، خصهم يحميو يحاولوا يقلوا من هادشي ديال سميتو باش يكون عندنا المنتوج مزيان.
Loss of biodiversity in Morocco is not only affecting individuals and the state of the environment unfavorably, but also the economy. And economic well-being means a lot to us, Morocco's delegation, because through changes, through good choices, we could possibly eradicate this problem over time. And so, as you may know, business practices are making this issue worse. And so to give you an idea, we have any type of business that overuses natural resources, utilizes products from over-harvested species of plants or animals, and who overgraze as well as make sudden non-well-managed changes to the land used are responsible for the loss of biodiversity. And so let's move on to just how it is affecting biodiversity in Morocco and thus how it relates to our economy. And so it's doing that so that agricultural lands are not adequate enough to use, making species not be able to live on them. And it's not just agricultural lands, but also species whom are living in marine and coastal environments that are being diminished. And so So this in turn affects the Moroccan economy, and prices rise and rise, while a lot of Moroccans are finding it harder to sustain themselves. And biodiversity is especially essential to a country such as Morocco, in which 40% of the population are employees of the agricultural sector, and less agricultural outcomes means less employment, less exports, a lower GDP, and many more things.